Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you about colors, the color palette, and gradients. So let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to learn how colors work, or basically how to use colors, and how to use gradients and all of that stuff. So first of all, I want to explain a few things. Now, when you are working with a file like this, a document like this, there are two types of colors basically. One is RGB colors, and the other one is CMYK. Now, there are a lot of details on the web on how these works and all of the other stuff, but I'm going to give you a brief description, okay? A little brief description. Now, RGB colors basically are used with web or digital displays, displaying some kind of object or thing or whatever you create for digital displays. RGB colors are used for that. But if you have created something like a business card or a brochure, you will not use RGB colors. You will use CMYK colors for that. Now, the reason for that is basically when these types of cards and other things are printed out, they have special types of printers, okay? They use Pantone colors, and CMYK colors are basically used for that because Pantone printers basically mix different kinds of inks together to print out that brochure or business card or whatever. And CMYK colors are used for coloring printable stuff. So when you have a document, how do you know you have RGB colors selected or CMYK? Basically here, you will see RGB here, written here, RGB. Now, why is this written here and how can I change it? Well, let's say you are creating a project, a new file basically. So you would go to new, and then when you have a file selected, like this one, I want to create this type of artboard. Okay, so this is selected in the advanced options. You can see in color mode it is RGB color, but if I click, you will see CMYK colors. Okay, and you have now selected CMYK colors. Okay, so after that, just click create and it will be from RGB to CMYK. Okay, that's how it basically works. Here in the color tab, let's talk about colors. In the color tab right here, if you do not see this, just go to Windows and you will see color here and just press that. Oh, sorry, click that and press F6 for a shortcut. So after you have opened up this tab, you will not see these options. Basically what you will see is this. Okay, this is what you will see. And to get those options in RGB, you can even select CMYK colors. Okay, you will go to, now by selecting this, you don't change this, just so you know. You will click on show options right here, and this will show you all the different options. Okay, this is how this works, and by using this, let's select this. Okay, you can change these. This is going to make it darker. Okay, now this RGB stands for red, green, and blue, just so you know. And by doing this, you can see that it is going from red, green, and blue. This is becoming red, green, and blue. Okay, just play around with these. Trust me, this is something you learn by doing rather than listening. Okay, just by looking at this, you can see if you go here, this will become darker. If you go here, this will start turning yellow, and if you go here, this will start turning white. And basically play around with this. Trust me, experience is the best teacher. Okay, so to add a color, let's say this box is like, I want to change the color of this box. So here, if you go here, you will see this. if you double click this, or if you're in this tab right here in the color tab, just double click this. Okay, now you will see this, all of the different colors. As you slide this upwards or drag this upwards, you will see all the colors changing, and you can select different types of colors. Just by looking at this, you can select whatever color you want. Let's say I want to select this purplish area here, so I will click this, and you can see this is a purple like color. Now I want to go a little pink. Let's go pink, and now to red. It's red and blue and all of the different colors. Basically, you can just select whatever color you want. Let's say I want to select this pink one. Okay, so another thing I want to tell you about is this area right here. Okay, this one right here. Now, how do you use this? Basically, I've already shown you how you use this. Just by sliding this up and down, you can see the color change accordingly. But how do you use this? Well, if you go to the top left right here, this will always, no matter what color you select, this will always be white. If you go to the bottom left, this will always be black. If you go to the top right, this will be the color you have selected from here. Okay, this will be the color you have selected from here. Okay, if you go to the bottom left, right, bottom left, right, it will always be black as well. But you have selected this pinkish area. Okay, now let's say I wanted a dark pink color. Okay, how that color will be, how that color will look on that object will depend on where you place this. Okay, where you drag and place this. Now this is a dark purple like color, and that's because I put it here. Okay, that's the reason. Now this area will be the whatever color you have selected, in my case pink. This will be a darker area, like a dark pink or something like that. Now if I go in the middle, as you can see, it is becoming lighter. This is somewhere in between. Okay, and then if I keep going up all the way, you will see that it's 100% light color of the color I have selected from here. Okay, and it will keep going towards white if I go here, and if I go down, you'll see it starts becoming darker. And this is basically something you also need to do and learn with experience. Okay, just play around with this, trust me. Other than this way, you also have another way. You can just click here, you go into swatches, basically like just like this. Okay, this is the color mode. Okay, this is basically how you can select it manually, you could say. And if you click here, you will see these predefined colors. Okay, these are the colors that you have saved up. Okay, you can name these whatever you want even. Okay, I will show you that in the color palette. Okay, and these color swatches, you can just click on them, just select them. In my case, let's select this one. I press OK, and there you go, it's applied. Okay, so that's how you select your own colors. Another thing you can do, let's say you have a color, you know the code of that color. This is a hex code. Okay, you can find a lot of these on the web. You just type in the name of the color in Google. You can just type the name of the color and put a space and then say hex code in the Google search bar. Let's say I wanted to select white. Okay, let's say I want to select white. If I want to know the hex code of that, I would just go to Google. I would put in white space hex space code. Okay, and the hex code for that is, for white I mean, is FFF. Hex codes are always 6 mixtures of numbers and digits. So after putting in the code, you just press enter, and there you go, it is applied. That's how you apply it with a hex code. Okay, if I want this to be black as 000000, press enter. Oh, I didn't select the shape, sorry. 000000. Okay, that's how that works. You can also even, these are by default, these will always be here, okay? These are like by default. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you is this box with a red line. This stands for transparency. Okay, if I want to make the fill transparent, I just click this. Okay, now it's transparent. There's no colors inside of it. You can tell just by looking at this, these are not selected. Okay, and you can tell the fill is also transparent by the same type of box, just a little square in the middle. Okay, like that. This is for the stroke, this is for the fill. Okay, here I'll just show you. This has fill, I mean a stroke, and now I'm going to make it transparent, and as you can see, it's transparent now. Okay, so that's how this works. Another thing I want to show you is the color picker. Okay, how does the color picker work? Basically, the color picker is simple. After you have selected your object, okay, I'm gonna select this square again. After I select that square, now it's a little tricky. Okay, the color picker kind of, like, people just think that if you hover over the object and then just click on it, it will take the colors into that. Okay, that is basically how it works, but there's a little thing that I want to mention here, like this is green. Okay, and I clicked it and the green color is now applied. Okay, but let's say, let me just show you. Now it has a border. Okay, now I'm gonna click this. Oh, sorry, let me select this first and do this, and now you will see that it also has a black stroke. Now what happened right now, when I use the color picker, this has a stroke and a fill. Okay, the stroke is not transparent on this one right now. It has a stroke and a fill, and when I clicked on this, it took both of those things and applied it, even though I do not want a stroke on this. Okay, so it automatically applied that. So that's something you need to know, because some people just think if you hover over with the color picker and just click on it, you will only take the color, the infill color of that, not the stroke, but you take all of the colors of that. If you had a gradient here, it will also take that, all of the colors. Okay, okay, now let's say I want my own swatches, okay, or palettes, or whatever you want to call them. So to do that, you see these files here. Okay, you can create these yourselves. These are basically for organizing your own type of style. Basically, the colors basically you use again and again in many different projects. You can just organize them in one file. Okay, you just come here, new color group, click on this, and you can name this whatever you want. You can say color mostly used. Okay, let's just call this. Just name it. It really doesn't matter, in my opinion. Just hover over it, you'll see the name. Okay, so select the folder and then click on new swatch, and you will see the color right here. And you can even change it to like CMYK or RGB color, or whatever you want. This global option, okay, this is important, and I'll tell you that later how it is important. Okay, with this selected, okay, I just need to click on OK, and it will add it here because I had selected this before. Let me just do something. Okay, let's just, yeah, it's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Okay, so you see this little box here. This is basically saying that this is a global color. To select a color, basically you just need to click on the color you want, or just double click and select a color you want. Okay, let's say I want to select this. Okay, you don't need to select this when I did this. Okay, this is my fault. Let me just select another color. Let me just select this orange like color. It's yellow actually. Okay, so with this selected, I have not selected any colors right now. Okay, so this is selected here. select this, click, that color is selected now. And okay, now this global option, I'm not going to check it, and now I'm going to click it, and now you can see there's no box, white little cut box here. Now I'll show you the difference. Okay, let me just select both of these. Okay, let me just make these green. Okay, now I've added this color to both of these, and let me just make this one this. Okay, now these are two global colors, and this one is not a global color. Now watch what happens. This one, I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to change this to like this blue color. I've changed it to this, and I'm going to press OK. It changed into blue, but this did not change. Okay, now let me just change this one, and let me make this one blue. Okay, and now you can see these two changed. Why didn't it change when I changed this one, and why did it change because I changed this one? Well, the reason for that is these two are global colors. Okay, and the reason these two changed are only because these are global colors. This one is not a global color, and it did not change. This one is a global color, you can tell because of this white box and then this triangle shape here. This one does not have any of that, and this is not a global color. None of these actually are global colors. Okay, so that's how colors work. I think I've explained enough. I think I've went into a little too much detail here. Okay, actually one more thing. When you are working with any kind of color, okay, you can also pick colors from here. Like you can do it with double clicking and all that I showed you. You can even do it from here. Okay, you can do it from here as well. Okay, so yeah, like that. Okay, now moving on. Now let's go to gradients. Let me just double click and let's fill a color here. Let's go to a little bit of blue. Okay, now it has a color. Okay, now this box, if I double click this, let's pick another color. Let's go with green here, a little darker actually. Okay, and I'm gonna press OK. Let's make this 10, and you can see now it has a stroke. So that's how this one and this one works. Now let's say you want us to swap these colors. You can just press this one. Oh, first select the shape. Okay, then just press this, and you can even swap colors like this. Okay, that's how swapping works. Now let's move on to gradients. Okay, now how do gradients work? Basically, we have some predefined gradients right here. I'll explain patterns later on. Okay, this video is going to be too long if I keep going on. Gradients. Okay, I'm just gonna click this. Oh, sorry. I had this selected, so it made this the gradient, the stroke, the gradient. Okay, let's go back. Let me just bring this to front, and now I'm gonna click this, and now you can see this is a gradient. Let me just make this transparent. Okay, so this is now a gradient. How can you tell this is a gradient? Well, if you go into this gradient tab right here, you just go to Windows and you can find the gradient tab. Okay, you can see all of these little dots right here with different kinds of colors. These are basically showing the different types of colors in this gradient. Okay, let me just, if you move this like so, you'll see that now it's more yellowish than orange. Okay, you can even add them like this. Just click and you can add more. Okay, and you can even like delete them. Okay, just click on this and just press this delete stop right here. Okay, you can just remove however many you want. Okay, that's how this works. Okay, now I have this. Okay, now this gradient slider. Okay, what this is basically saying which color out of these two, okay, because this one is for these two has this one. Now I can choose, I want more of a yellowish orangish color right here, or less of it, more of an orange color, by sliding this as well. So just play around with this. Trust me, this is something you need to learn by experience. Okay, so play around with this. Now let's say I wanted to add another color, so I can go into the palettes I have, I can use the color picker, I can like even select it from here. Like let's say I wanted to add this green or pink or blue or whatever color I wanted to add. Okay, I can just select that from here. Okay, and I can even make this one this colored. Okay, you just need to click on one of these and then you can you can just select whatever color you want and just delete them. That's how basically gradients work. And another thing, before I end this tutorial, if you go here, you will see this gradient tool. Okay, now this is going from here to here. Now how does this work? Let me just delete a few of these. Actually, I can just, and how does this work? Okay, if I go from top to bottom, you can see that this color is yellow and this one is the orange color. Just make this more orange. Okay, this is the orange color. Okay, that's how this works. Like if I go from here to here, you can see it starts spreading in that direction. The reason for that is the gradient tool goes from left to right. Okay, left to right. If I go from down to bottom, it's still picking the color that's on the left and going to the color that's on the right. Okay, left to right. And that's how this gradient tool works. Now, if you go to the edge right here, you can even rotate the color however you want. Okay, you can rotate it however you want. You can even slide it from here rather than doing it from here. Okay, you can like change, make it more yellow, make it more orange. You can play around with this. Okay, just play around with this. Now, another thing I want to teach you. Actually, I forgot something in this part. There are three different options. If you select this one, this is radial gradient. Basically, it's starting from the center and expanding outwards. Before it was linear gradient and it was from left to right. This is radial gradient and this is from the center to outwards. Basically, it's going outwards. Like, let me just show you. If I slide this out, you can see it went outwards. So bring this in, it's going inwards. Okay, and honestly, I don't really see any point in rotating this because it's the same wherever you rotate it. But you see these points here, you can just make the inner part, okay, the left color right here, like in this oval shape like design. Okay, and this outer color will be this one, the one on the right here, the one on the right here. Okay, that is how this works. And the color, just play around with this. Trust me, it's better to play around with this. Okay, so that's it for the gradient. Another thing I just wanted to add before ending this is, if you have two colors and you make the transparency like 80 or 90% or something like that, the middle part here that's intersecting with each other, like this, it will like create a shady area, like a shaded area like design for you. So that's a little bonus tip from me. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial, guys. I really hope you liked it. I know it went on for like a really long time. I don't even know what time it is anymore. Sorry for making it too long. I really hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, and share with all of your friends. and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, peace.